What the actual effing ucking shit was that? This movie is probably the Mortal Kombat film I have ever seen. Sup gamers, it's boy Sonic. I'm running out of ways to start my videos, and today we're going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat Legends, Battle of the Realms, the sequel to Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge. Now, the plot of Battle of the Realms loosely follows the plot of Mortal Kombat 2, and a bit of Mortal Kombat 3, and MK4, and Deadly Alliance, and Deception, and Chronica, and Annihilation. Now, I'm sure many of you know that I'm one of those rare breeds who did not really like Scorpion's Revenge. However, I will admit, I think the action, animation, and gore was fantastic. So I was thinking, okay, as long as they still do that, and if they have just regular or better story and characters, boom, easy. You would surpass Scorpion Revenge easily. And for the most part, I can still say that Battle of the Realms does have good action and gore. I do have an issue with the action, but I'll get into that a little later. So great job. Woo! All right. At least a 5 or a 4 out of 10. Good, okay. So how about the characters? Well, what about the story? Okay. They really couldn't contain themselves, could they? They really just had to go there. You know what? How do I say this? Okay, I gotta be honest. I feel like this movie is probably the most complicated Mortal Kombat film I have ever seen. If Mortal Kombat 2021 is criticized because of its disrespectful fan service, I felt like this movie was just a little too much fan service. Like a little too much information and plot and stuff just thrown at you. Good luck following it. Which is why I feel very overwhelmed with it. Now, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but let me start talking about some other things about the movie, like characters. There's a lot, a lot of characters in this movie. And you know what that means? That's right. You don't really care about them. It's not only just because whether or not the writing is good or bad on these characters, but it's just so many characters and things happening. It's just who should I care or want to care about? I would say nobody really offended me personally, I guess, but nobody really stood out in my opinion. I'll mention 4 characters. Liu Kang, our main protagonist. And just like the first film, I kind of forgot he's the main protagonist. But unlike the first movie, it wasn't more like they just didn't give him enough. It definitely was more because there was 20-ish characters that had to be balanced out. And that's why Liu Kang just kind of gets forgotten in the background. But don't worry. The reason why I still remember he's the main character of this movie is definitely because of the second half. Because the movie will make sure you remember he's the main character. Johnny Cage. I did not like Johnny in Scorpion's Revenge. However, he was less irritating in this movie, but still kind of. Overall, I don't mind him too much in this movie. It's more the fact that I liked something about this character, which I'll get more into spoilers, but at least he's not as irritating as he was in Scorpion's Revenge. Okay, let me talk about 2 characters I did like. And the first one is kind of shocking to myself, but I actually kind of liked Raiden. Again, I wasn't too into this character in Scorpion's Revenge. Okay, I don't want to spoil it, but I do like an approach and a thing they do with Raiden in Battle of the Realms. That's all I'm saying for now. And the other character I did like was Shao Kahn. I felt like this motherfluffer was just the big boss of this movie, the big badass, and the big hurdle that the characters have to surpass. And he really shows that. His fights were fun, his taunts were fun. He just was a fun bad guy in my opinion, for the most part. I felt like Shao Kahn was handled pretty good, pretty okay. Oh yeah, Scorpion, I completely forgot about him. Yeah, Scorpion is basically also the other main character of this movie, in my opinion. How do I say this? They really should have put him in the poster too, for how much of a main character this guy is in the movie. Jeez, you know what? I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I'll talk more about Scorpion in the spoilers. Okay, now for the plot. Okay, now for the plot. I don't even really want to go through this just because of for 2 reasons, how my head will hurt and also how I can't spoil anything right now because I'm in a non-spoily territory. Yeah. The plot mostly revolves around MK2 stuff. So like you have a tournament, which I'm not gonna lie, I already love one thing about this tournament, and that's the fact that it's just a normal ass tournament. It's not some stupid battle royale rules. Thank you. It's just a simple 1v1 combat tournament, easy to understand, good. Okay, if I said easy to understand, then why am I still feel like I'm overwhelmed and stuff like that? Because that's not the only thing that happens. That's not the only thing that fucking happens in this movie. There's like a whole entire other subplot, and this is partially why I'm overwhelmed. Okay, look, thing is, yeah, screw it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I need to get into spoilers. If I keep trying to limit myself, I'm not going anywhere. If you don't know whether or not you want to watch this movie, skip to my conclusion, like around here or something, and I will give you a rating, and I'll tell you if you should watch this movie or not. Okay? I'm gonna do spoilers. Ready? Ready? Here we go. What the fuck was that ending? So I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of things that happen in this movie, and there's a lot I want to talk about. I'm definitely going to forget some stuff. So take this more as like me just rambling and just talking about anything that I can remember from watching the movie. Okay, sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's start from the beginning of this movie. I feel like the first 15 minutes of the movie was pretty solid. The whole war scene where like Outworld is trying to like invade Earth and they're fighting back, that was solid and I enjoyed that. Hey guys, this is just something I'm adding in from post because I forgot to record this. The thing about Johnny that I liked, it's not the fact that he was funny, it's the fact that people around him hated him and hated his jokes. That makes it funny. As a Johnny hater from Scorpion's Revenge, I really appreciate the shit he takes in this movie, so that's probably why I actually didn't mind Johnny as much compared to Scorpion's Revenge. And then the tournament happens, but at the same time, another subplot happens. Oh yeah, okay, right, this thing about Scorpion, because he shows up in the movie, and they talk about the fact that, oh, the key has been infused into him, and that Shinnok, if he wants to get the Kamidogu, he needs Scorpion. So Scorpion's like, screw you, and he like runs away. I'm not gonna lie, he has the key inside of him plot was like started. I was like, that is such a forced in thing that they need to give Scorpion, because they need Scorpion to return to this movie, and it's like they did not need to do that. They only did that because we need Scorpion back, or I guess they wanted him to like connect more with Sub-Zero. I don't know. The whole key thing inside of his body made me be like, okay, that's like a plot armor for Scorpion. He's like a MacGuffin now. It's like, you know, because he's Scorpion, guys. We gotta give him the importance of this story and stuff like that. Which I don't know. I hated the ending arc for Scorpion in Scorpion's Revenge, but I guess it's because my hatred for that aspect is left in Scorpion's Revenge. So now in this movie, the fact that he's like a complete good guy, I'm just like, whatever. I have my gripe with that more in Scorpion's Revenge, and they set up the fact that he's gonna be a good guy in this movie, so sure. But I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The whole Scorpion plotline is very, very intertwined with the Lin Kuei plotline, the Sub-Zero, Smoke, Grandmaster Sector Cyrex stuff. And that subplot, it was kind of interesting, but at the same time, it was also just like, can we not? I don't know. I just feel like every time we get to their subplot again, I'm just like, can we go back to the tournament? While watching this movie, it was going in between the tournament and then the Sub-Zero subplot, and going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And just like in Scorpion's Revenge, when I mentioned you probably should have sticked with those one subplot, I still feel that way in this movie. I still feel like, dude, why are you doing this? If you really wanted to do this, just make 2 movies. Focus on a freaking plot. Don't like jump around to like subplots and stuff like that. Like focus on one plot still. In my opinion, I really think that you shouldn't have done that. But with that being said though, I will say this is a weird thing. This is a weird compliment I'm gonna give, but I liked the tournament plot more. But I liked the action in the Sub-Zero subplot more than a tournament one. Because the action with like the Cyber Lin Kuei going against Scorpion and then also Sub-Zero was pretty cool. I like that. I like the fact that it was 3 teams going at each other. It's like Sub-Zero stopping the Cyber Lin Kuei being like, you're mine, Scorpion! And then it just becomes like this brawl between like these characters, and I like that. I actually did like those fight scenes. I think that was pretty cool. I just felt like the subplot was not as interesting as what's going on in the tournament. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Just like, I came here for the tournament. Can we just get back to there? Okay, the tournament. Yeah, let's go there now. Really happy we get normal ass tournament, but I think the tournament fight scenes, in my opinion, were kind of iffy. It's just like 2 characters would dish it out for about 10 seconds, and then immediately one of them would just fucking just demolish the other character like super fast. Ha 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 ha. I'm down. What? Oh, I guess. Haha! I win! Yay! Repeat that 5 times! I don't know, it kind of made for some kind of unclimactic fights in the tournament, just because it's just like, they go back and forth for about 10 seconds, and then just immediately one of them just, I'm down, I'm gonna lose now, and the other character just like finishes them, cha-cha-cha. I feel like you need more of a build-up, you need more like back and forth before you just instantly lose, you know what I mean? That's how I feel like a lot of the tournament fights went. The only exception to this whole instant win kind of rule that I'm okay with is with Shao Kahn's fights. Because Shao Kahn is like the biggest boss of this film, and he's just super strong, so getting immediately KO'd by him I think is completely fine. I mean, that is what happens in the games too, so it's, yeah. Some of them were fine, but yeah, like Jade and Lee Mei, they just get like chopped and done like super fast. What, Jade had like 10 seconds or something like that? And I will say, I feel like for people who watch this movie, who are looking forward to seeing, oh, the 3D era characters, Reiko, Jade, Devora, which is only my brother, Kitaro, Baraka, stuff like that. Y'all be disappointed, because they only have about like 10 seconds of a fight and then they're just done. They're out of it. Which, I will admit, I don't care too much about these characters, so that didn't affect my viewing experience that much. But yeah, I completely understand why you'd be disappointed with these characters for not having a good fight and stuff like that. Where should I go with this movie? What else should I talk about? Okay, Raiden. Yeah, why not? I mentioned I did like Raiden. Okay, Raiden in this movie felt kind of like the conductor. Kind of like the, okay, we gotta start having plans, we gotta start doing things kind of a thing. Unlike in Scorpion's Revenge, where he was much more of like, I'm just gonna stand on the waistline and just be like, good luck guys. Barely teaches any morals and just whatever, in my opinion. But in this movie, at least, I feel like he took initiative, he did stuff, and more importantly, he decided to turn himself into a human in order to enter the tournament. And the thing I did like about Raiden was more of the fact that he's coming to terms with the fact that he's mortal now. He has to get used to the fact that he's not like an invincible god now. One of my favorite scenes was in the balcony, where Raiden just kind of talks about how, like, you know, I've been a god for such a long time, it feels pretty nice to just like sleep. It feels nice to feel like emotion and stuff like that. And he kind of like happily leaves that balcony, and Liu Kang just has like this worried face on him because he knows that he's mortal now. I mean, in a way, I guess he's glad that he's enjoying life because he's mortal, but at the same time, he's just like, you could die now, and I'm worried about that. And I like that aspect. Wow, what do you know? Out of like 20 subplots in the movie, I liked one thing. So what happens afterwards? Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this. Because of how Scorpion versus Sub-Zero's plot, in my opinion, were, I have to still say that probably Mortal Kombat 2021 gave us the best Scorpion versus Sub-Zero dynamic in Mortal Kombat media still. But I will say, in this movie, the Sub-Zero and Scorpion bromance was definitely the stronger aspect. Dude, those two, literally the biggest bromance in the second half of that movie. I will never forgive you, Scorpion. And then proceeds to like save his life like 5 times, and Scorpion does the same too. They do like combo moves, they hang out together, they're just like, bro. Super bromance is hilarious. Oh yeah, Stryker and Kung Lao dying. Oh boy, so many people were looking forward to seeing these two again, and then they get killed off. Heck, I think Kung Lao got it even worse than Stryker, because at least Stryker had lines, at least Stryker felt like they were trying to make a character. Kung Lao was like, barely you remember he's even in the movie. Also, I find it very funny that, like, I think they got the same person who voiced Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11 to voice Kung Lao in this movie. So it kind of brings me up, be like, what? Why do you sound like Liu Kang? Why is Liu Kang in this movie not sound like you? I think one of the Elder Gods is also voiced by the same person who did Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11 too. It kind of like brings me out a bit, be like, what? Why not just okay? But yeah, so I feel bad for Kung Lao and Stryker fans. You guys just got your character back and they immediately die again. Kung Lao especially is like, that was just such a mishandled character, just to show up just to die basically. I will say I did like their fatalities though. That was probably some of the best fatalities in the movie. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Shang Tsung versus Liu Kang fight. When I said that whole thing about the back and forth analogy thing, I felt it super hard in this movie. The first 40 seconds or something like that, you get Shang Tsung beating up Liu Kang. Oh wow, this is not looking good for Liu Kang. He like debuffs one of his arms, and it's like, oh no, what's Liu Kang gonna do? Oh, Liu Kang is just gonna defeat him. Just like that. He's just gonna like, I could just use one hand. I'm gonna all of a sudden become super OP and just like beat you up, Shang Tsung. You fucking what? Like, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the first 40 seconds Shang Tsung was beating up Liu Kang, and then he debuffs Liu Kang, and Liu Kang then beats up Shang Tsung. What? Huh? Again, a better back and forth. Not like Shang Tsung was winning that whole thing, and then all of a sudden Liu Kang just wins. And then he also like just lets Jang Sung win because he's pure of heart. He's a good guy. Oh yeah, the Katana Raiden fight. So Katana got buffed in this movie because I don't remember her being this strong in Scorpion's Revenge, but she got a lot stronger in this movie. She's about to kill Raiden, and then she freaking just throws that fan to Shao Kahn and kills him. When I saw that moment, I was just like, no! No! I was legit like out of it. I was like, this is the stupidest thing that they could have ever done. I was just like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. And then it turned out to be like a fake. And I was like, and I just kind of laughed out loud. Especially the fact that Shao Kahn faked his death for like a couple of seconds. He got hit up, like, ah! And like he pretends to be dead and gets up. I'm actually not dead yet, y'all. Haha. It's just like, what the fuck? It's just so funny. Oh yeah, I have to mention something else I felt like was really funny. Every time like there was a character that from like good guy's side that was losing or getting beat up, they always had to like cut back to like the our main characters. For example, Johnny losing to Devora, Sonya's like, no! Kung Lao getting beat up, Liu Kang, no! Striker getting beat up, Jax, Striker! Sonya getting beat up, Sonya!
No!
No! Striker! No! Liu Kang!
Lord Raiden!
It's like, stop it! We get it! Stop it! You're so annoying! It's like this literally, they do this like 6 times or something like that in the movie. Like, we don't need to cut to these characters reacting like that every time they see their friend about to lose or die and stuff like that. It's like, I get it. You need to do it sometimes, but not like every single time. It got on my nerves. It was so funny. And then after that, what was after that? I think it's just the Shao Kahn versus Raiden, and then Liu Kang versus Shao Kahn fight. Those are fine. Neat. Oh yeah. I love the part where Raiden does the part. It's just like, he just does it. I just think that's so funny, but in a good way. So awesome. And then Raiden dies. Oh, boo-hoo, so sad. But then the Liu Kang and Shao Kahn fight also happens. Now, in my opinion, there's like a meter, there's like a point where I feel like it's a little too overboard with absurdity. And I feel like that fight where Shao Kahn and Liu Kang fought, and it just became like this over-the-top Dragon Ball back and forth kind of a fight thing, was almost above the absurdity factor, but I enjoyed that fight. That was a fun fight. That was, in my opinion, the kind of like good, when I'm mentioning the back and forth fight. Unlike the other fights where it's just like fight, and immediately I win kind of a thing. The fights in this movie and tournaments vary from like, that's pretty nice to be like, eh. But like, the fights in like the Sub-Zero and the Cyber Lin Kuei and Scorpion part, in my opinion, were fantastic. I love those fights. Those were much more entertaining. And then the biggest curveball happens. The freaking ending. If the movie ended where Shao Kahn was defeated, solid. But it kept going. And it went into the most absurd direction it could have gone. And okay, I feel like since I'm in spoiler talks, everybody knows what it is. You know, they bring this is the one being. It's the one being final boss. What the actual effing ucking shit was that? Okay, I gotta turn back time a bit. Shinnok gets all Kami Dogus, and then he fuses himself with the one being, and then all the realms start to merge. Haha, that's the title, Battle of the Realms. Our main cast of characters get to the arena. Okay, I'm trying my best to remember what happened. I'm not gonna be able to say everything about the ending, but I'm just gonna mention some highlights. Liu Kang then infuses with the Elder Gods to get ready to fight off corrupted Shinnok, the one being. I'm gonna just go into whatever I can remember nitpicking wise. And so there was that scene where like Sonya was like, okay, what we can do is we gotta go protect the humans in this like messed up ending realm. We gotta stop the bad guys from killing them. Oh, so that's Earth? Those people are like, those are humans? Do you have any idea how big Earth is? Do you have any idea the mass of like how much these characters have to protect and stuff like that? But okay, fine, whatever. And one of the biggest things I was confused about was like, why are Tarkatans attacking humans? Why? Why is the Tarkatans working with the one being? Why is anybody working with the one being? Why? It's like they said, oh, Tarkatans are just, you know, mindless, brainless enemies that we can use to just throw into the final act or something like that. Did you not play MK11? Did you not see how Katana redeemed the Tarkatans or something like that? And also, why only Tarkatans? You know, maybe there were demons, but I forgot. But like, why not some other like enemies and stuff like that? Or whatever.
When talking about enemy variety types, I'm gonna compliment this one scene from Scorpion's Revenge, where Johnny and Sonya fight a bunch of monsters. There were so many different types of monsters there, and I feel like that would have been better than just a bunch of freaking Tarkatans.
Right, the fight. So then Liu Kang freaking turned into a dragon, Wow, awesome. I will admit that's the only scaly thing in this whole movie, so maybe that is the only thing I like. I remember when I watched this movie, when I saw like the one being giant, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a kaiju fight. I didn't mean it, okay? You didn't need Liu Kang to turn into a dragon to fight him. You did not need that. That's what we get. We get like a kaiju fight back and forth, and Liu Kang is down. And just when he's about to get defeated, our favorite two protagonists, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, just swoop, bloop, 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 fly in and just help out. Two little dudes who come in and deal some damage to the freaking strongest being in the whole entire universe while being bros. And that's all I can think of from the top of my head. That made me go like, what the frick? And then there they defeat the one being, and Liu Kang's like, here, let me just separate the realms for you guys. Everything is good now. Everything is great. World peace. I don't think we need to continue on with this series anymore because we have such a big, gigantic, climactic ending in this movie. What were they thinking? Why did they end the movie like that? Why would they end... This is the second movie. You do this shit in like the 10th movie or something like that. This is... what? Just because Infinity War tried doesn't mean you all should start doing this shit. Just no. Stop it. Could have had a very plain MK2 plotline, but like they just had to be different or something. I don't know. They just had to try to do their own thing, and now here we are. Thinking about this movie makes my head hurt just because of how much is like going on and stuff like that. But I genuinely have to wonder if this was worse than Scorpion's Revenge. If I were just to compare like gore and action-wise, they're both on par, both these movies. Like they basically are about as good as each other. But then like in this movie, there was at least like some characters I liked. There was at least a normal tournament. There were some aspects that I liked. But at the same time, there was some very, very garbage and fucking shit in this movie that I should hate this more than Scorpion's Revenge. I'm just like in this balance between I have no idea how to feel. I genuinely have no idea how to like process this movie. I need to watch it again. I need to decipher how I feel about this movie before I really go off, if that makes any sense. Okay, spoilers done. In conclusion, do I recommend this movie? If you like Scorpion's Revenge, I think you should give it a shot. I feel like some people did like it and some people did not like it. It's very mixed for the people who have watched Scorpion's Revenge. If you did not like Scorpion's Revenge, you'll probably hate this movie even more. One thing I did forget to mention is the fact that I feel like this was a very, very Mortal Kombat fan-orientated movie due to how many fan service, how many references were like shoved into this movie. To the point where I feel like if you're a common viewer, you would have no idea what's going on half the time. You'll be like, what's the Cyberlink Quay? What's this Kamidogu? Who's this character? Why is this showing up and stuff like that? And then it's like, because I know the stuff from the games, but even then I feel a bit overwhelmed too. So I'm a little worried about just regular people watching this movie. In terms of a rating, I gave Scorpion's Revenge like a 4 out of 10 a long time ago, but I think I bumped it up to like at least a 5 because I do appreciate the action and gore more in that film. Battle of the Realm, part of me just wants to give this like a super low score, but the other part of me is like, I had stuff I did like from this movie. But more importantly, I feel like those things I did like are like stacked above Scorpion's Revenge by a little bit. But then again, I really feel like some of the bad things in this movie should give this like a horrible score and stuff like that. It should, but I'm not there yet, you know? I don't really feel that yet. So before I feel that, before I go crazy into rant mode, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Due to at least having some actually really good action, especially with the subplot part, having a normal ass tournament. You know, the first 50 minutes was great too. And just like, I also like the set pieces too. There was like good stuff in this movie, but like very garbage bad stuff that happened in this movie too. Look, I'm gonna be honest, perhaps part of me as to why I can restrain myself so much and not just go full on just trashing this movie is because maybe I watched it with Brusque Poet and I don't want to make him feel bad. But if I watch this like with my brother, I feel like a part of me will awaken to just like, just smash mode, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like I'm there yet. I want to understand this frustration in me. I want to decipher the movie. And after I've done that is probably when I will rank this from like, I don't know, a 6 out of 10 to like a 3 out of 10. Who knows? I don't know. But for now, before that happens, 6 out of 10.
Speaking of deciphering this film, one thing I'm actually legit looking forward to doing is looking for great meme potential in this movie. And I'm not just talking about the ultra shaggy stuff. No. I mean, there's a lot of great moments and expressions that are just so memeable, and I can't wait to look for all of them when I decipher this film.
You know, I was wondering if I'm gonna be able to make like a sucks video out of this because I didn't know if there was gonna be like enough material for me to work with. There is too much material in this movie. I have to. I will. That's gonna be probably my next big project. Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms sucks. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna decipher this movie. Have mercy on my soul when I do that, though. So much I could say about this movie. Another reason why I did like this a little bit more than Scorpion's Revenge is Scorpion's Revenge was just like a big downhill exhaustion experience for me throughout that. But this movie was like, it was a balance between exhaustion and also just feeling like, what the fuck kind of a feeling. It was like a balance between that. And if you at least have that, what the kind of a feeling, I'm at least entertained. I'm at least like active, if that makes any sense. Who knows? Again, maybe in the future after I really delve into it, I'll give it a really lower score. I might hate it more than Scorpion's Revenge, but for now, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna make one big complaint. One big ass complaint that I don't see enough people saying. Melina stans are very angry that Melina is not in this movie when she was like marketed and they have stated that she was gonna be in this movie. I think it's because they mistook Lee May as Melina, just like I did in the reaction. So that's why Melina is not in this movie, and that made Melina stans very angry, and that's fair. But you wanna know what's even more fair? Where the fuck is Reptile? Huh? A couple months ago, they stated that that was not Reptile and Baraka in Scorpion's Revenge, okay? And they even had Baraka return in this movie and had Johnny have a line say, "Didn't I kill you, haha?" But that wasn't Baraka on the island, that was just a random Tarkatan. This here, that's Baraka. But where is Reptile then? Huh? Why couldn't you put Reptile in the movie? This is MK2's plotline. Literally Reptile's official debut in the Mortal Kombat franchise. Why couldn't you have him in the movie? Reptile is more obsolete than any of the Outworld characters who are gonna fight in the tournament. Every single one of them. Reptile replaces Lee May, Devora, Reiko, even Kentaro, even Baraka. Literally, Reptile is more famous in the community and the culture of Mortal Kombat and all that shenanigans.
You know what? These studios are literally handing me on a silver plate the poker table jokes. I'm literally gonna make the joke, I wonder where Reptile is when all this was happening. I'm literally gonna do that. These studios just keep giving me the opportunity.
And if your argument is saying, well, we already had the Reptile fight in the first movie, so we didn't want to have the same thing again. Shut the fuck up. There were 1,000 Tarkatans in this movie. And you're talking about how they're doing the same thing again. No. Fuck this film. They don't get to say Reptile wasn't in the first movie and not have Reptile in this movie. No. Was that the thing that pissed me off the most in this movie? Probably wasn't. Probably the something else. Probably that thing at the end. That whole segment pissed me off more. This is just my more personal rant. I feel like not enough people are being angry that Reptile is not in this movie, so I wanted to do that. Okay, I guess I'm done. To be honest, this is really like my first impressions kind of feeling for this movie. When I watched Mortal Kombat 2021, I was like, okay, here are things I liked, here are things I didn't like, and this is how I feel about the movie in general, blah blah blah, here's my review. It was so simple. In this movie, I feel like I skipped out on a lot of things because I just don't remember it and I just don't even know how to feel about it. There you go, this is my first impressions then. I hope you guys enjoyed my dive into insanity. Great job, Ethan, Jeremy. Keep it up. Good luck on your Injustice project, I guess. Oh, would I want an MK3? Oh yeah, for sure. I would love to see where the heck this movie goes. I really would. I'm not even joking. At this point, I have no idea what they're gonna do next. So that's what makes me kind of excited. And also, because then we might see Reptile. Okay, I'm done. Sorry for keep on going. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys later. Truth be told, I guess I'm just mad that I can't commission a sexy Reptile for this movie. Although I can commission a sexy Liu Kang now.